Alright, welcome back everyone. So for today's video is finally the Vitor game that has been requested in the comments a few times. Uh, this is being recorded right after the arena season format was decided, where it was decided to be a 3-player format. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed, to use the famous phrase. But yeah, I don't think people really realize how much kingmaking exists in 3-player and why it's not really a competitive format. I'll give you a story from when I played a 3-player game with Anthracite and a third party. And in the draft, Anthracite has the choice of a really good card for him. I forget what it was. Let's call it NRA. AGT and Advanced Alloys. He takes the NRA and looks at me and says, this guy has 7 science tags, but only 1 mineral production, and opponent who he's passing to only has 1 mineral production, so they'll take anti-grav, and Thread will get alloys, and all's good. And then next move, he's very disappointed when with my 7 science tags I play anti-grav, and he goes, seriously? You with your 1 steel prod, took alloys over passing the guy anti-grav, and he proceeded to lose that game. And then when I went to my first board gaming event, PAX Unplugged, I went with a friend of mine, and it was a 5-player game, so even more skilled, right, BGA? But in the 5-player game, it's Gen, I want to say 5, and my friend there gets his choice of 4 cards, and I forget what it is. It's inconsequential, something something NRA. I'm eco-line with 3 plant tags. He says, oh, well, I'll just take this card that's good for me, and then I'll pass the cards on, and one of the other 2 guys will cut the NRA. Well, imagine my shock when I get the 4th pick NRA. My eyes bulge, and my friend just does a face palm across the table because he knows that somehow the other 2 players took micro mills and underground debts. That's the bad levels of cards we're talking about here. Then gave me NRA in Gen 5. I didn't win that game though, because one of the players funded Banker for Tharsis when they were already losing Banker, and Tharsis was already winning Banker. And I said, what's the idea behind that? They said, oh, well, I'm 2nd place, so I'm okay paying 20 mega credits to get 2 VP. So yeah, that's why I don't play 3-player arena, and that's why I think if you guys want to, feel free, but leave me out of it. Vote 2-player next time. Alright, that whole tangent out of the way, let's look at the Vitor game here. It's up against Levi. Levi is a strong player. He previously won one of the World Series board game Terraforming Mars events, so also experienced tournament player. So looking at the hand, I see no Earth tags. However, I see a Vitor, so I'm going to pick a Vitor. IO Mining and Ganymede. Alright, I guess we're going Jobs. Mars U, we're going Science. Tech Demo, and those are the auto pick cards here, right? Now, from the rest of these, I think when you have IO Mining and you have Building Industries, you should go Miner, and I think you take Acquired Space Agency to help pay for IO. So now here's where it gets interesting, because I think all 3 of these preludes are reasonable choices. I think Huge Asteroid is nice to have for getting just 3 victory points and 3 production. Can't go wrong with that, but could push the pace of the game a little faster than I necessarily want. Metals Company, if I want to fund Miner, this does help protect me on Miner. However, it kind of goes the downside of I'm putting all my eggs in the mineral basket, so to speak, of titanium and steel, and that could be problematic later on if I don't find those targets, because I don't really have card draw aside from RSU. And lastly, you got Polar Industries, which I am the first player. So because I'm the first player, that means I'm guaranteed to get 2 cards. 2 cards could help a lot with finding other things to do. If I were to do it today, I think I'd have done Metals Company and Acquired Space Agency. As it played out in the game, I took Polar Industry and Acquired Space Agency. I think it's defendable. I just don't think it's what I would do today with this hand. But alright, let's hop into it. And in case you guys are wondering why not birds, yes, it has a VP associated with it, but it's just so far away. I don't think it's worth the early cast drag when I have big expensive cards to play. So I do the Polar Industries first. You might be asking, does it matter? Acquired Space Agency or Polar? No, it doesn't. Some people will argue with you about probability, but people are wrong. It's superstition. It doesn't matter the order in which you do it. You could argue I might take Titanium if I find another big space event from Acquired Space Agency, but I'm always planning on taking cards with Mars University. That's just the way it is. And I get Business Contacts and Virus, so can't be sad about that. And the 2 cards I get, alright, by Titanium Mine, Underground, Fuel Factory, Standard Tech. Oh, Restrict Theory is sad to see gone with Mars U. But my science tags. Oh, right, we got a 3rd Jove Molt by AMC, by Livestock, another Robo Workforce Science Target, Lunar Beam's gone, City gone, Caretaker gone. That's a lot of them. Bribed, Greenhouses, Domed. No, my science payoff, Antigrav. Imported GHG. Alright, well, at least I got one good card from it. And we're up against the Helion, just playing Molehole and Molehole Excavation, so heat's gonna fly. Alright, so I am not funding Thermalist, I'll tell you that right now. I could fund Scientist, but it's a little risky with Mars U. He has 1 Steel Prod, I'm looking to get 4 Mineral Prod. I think against a Rush Shut-Up Miner is probably the right pick, but you have to be... I'm going to make sure you guys know, Miner is the award most correlated with losing the game. I think Banker is the only one that comes close. So if you're winning Miner, it often does not necessarily spell good things to your game. So be very careful when funding one of these awards, especially as your first one is Vitor. But I just don't think the other ones make enough sense right now. And alright, we're playing Io. And I get immediately sabotaged, so I guess I'm done for the generation. And he plays Geothermal Power, so he's going to have some energy going over to heat. That seems reasonable. Alright, well, always Comet here, I think. Good to have for all my Titanium. Wild Tag, I think Wild Tag is a little overrated by some people. It's only really good when it comes to, TG, Cartel, getting your last science tag for your payoff, ecosystems. Ecosystems gone this game. The big science payoff is gone this game. So its value is diminished a bit, but, still could be a tag for NRA, could be an insects tag. I think you keep it just on that speculation. So it's a good card. I just think people underestimate that 7 for a tag is a little expensive. Wave Power, it doesn't matter. I'm not keeping it. So I don't think either of these cards is really worth keeping. I think just Comet and Research Coordination. I got plenty to do in my hand. I don't need to get extra cycles from RSU. Yep, and that's what I do. So Levi just raises heat and plays AAA. What a Chad. So he is now going up to 3, 6, 9, 11 heat prod. And 1 plant prod. And I play the business contacts here, saying I want to see what else I can do before I do my options. I'm hoping to find power for building industries. That's probably my main thing I want to hit. I don't, so I get the option here of I could take Probe with Mars U. I could take Methane with the 3 Jove Molts, which I think that's kind of a no-brainer. And then it comes down to, do I want to take Mine to help fight Miner, or do I want this for the card draw? And it's a rebate. I think the Mine is better because of the Miner fund, but it's close. And I just play Mine. They call it a Mine. A Mine. If you guys like Lord of the Rings, a couple of us do, so it's a bit of a meme that we say that whenever we play the card Mine. Alright, so our opponent has 11 heat prod. What do you take? I think it's a clear bushes. Heat's flying, so take a good plant payoff card for heat. He does have 2 energy prod. He could play Steelworks. I think Imported Nitrogen is the scarier card between Steelworks and Imported Nitrogen. He passes back Nuke Power. It was a possibility that he would take Nuke Power and count on us passing back Steelworks, but I think that if he does, I'm not that upset about it, because it means I get bushes and adapted and Nitro Moss, and getting some good plant prod is pretty good. So it's time to buy, and I do not think I want to take imported nitrogen. So I skipped on the birds. I saw the livestock go by. It's really only fish and predators are the only two 1-point animals. Imported nitrogen doesn't have to go on a 1-point animal, but yeah, it's showing you that my animal hits are low, and on top of that, I already have Ganymede colony and water import from Europa and methane from Titan and Comet. I have some big space events I want to play and only 2 titanium prod to do it. So I'm not really sure I can fit imported nitrogen into the plays. So I'll take nuke power to go with the building industries and hope to find other power uses to help spin my steel. And I'll take bushes, but the rest of these I think are not really in the game plan. He keeps 3 cards. Alright, so we'll just go ahead and drop the nuke power into the building industries, and we're happy with that. He raises heat, gets his heat prod up to 12 heat prod, and I'm done. And then he escarpments me. What a jerk, this guy. That's a really annoying card when Miner is funded. But, alright, we're 2-2, but I still have a 2 mineral production lead on him there. He can't AMC me, I know that. I think when Helion is pushing heat like this, you should take the lava flows. Try and take some of their TR while you can. Lycan and Sponsors, both kind of meh cards here. I'll play them if they come back, but I'm not excited about it. Yeah, Vesta, my beloved, come here. With 3 Jove Molts, you gotta take the Vesta. I don't think he'll play Hackers. Algae's a little annoying. Now he has 2 Ocean Payoff cards, but eh. Sponsors, yeah, sure. I'll play as Sponsors here. I don't think it's too late here at Gen 4. He keeps 2 cards. Raising heat up to 13 heat prod. And I just play the Vesta, get the cash back and the Sponsors. And then he power supply consortiums me after the solar wind. And I'm like, dude, seriously? So much hate. But it's fair. It's fair. It's just me being a little salty, but it is a good play. So lava flows, I just play to get the prod, get the titanium, because I'm going to be using it on probably Comet next draft. He's at 3 plants. I'll be at 5 titanium. I think it makes sense. Oh, okay. Wow. I really want imported hydrogen to use to get a conversion, and I hate giving it to him when I know I gave him 2 of the ocean payoffs, but that's an advanced alloys with the Mars University when I've got 5 mineral prod. I don't think you can pass advanced alloys here. And then card draw, I think you gotta take. And then yeah, he predictably takes the good card. I'm gonna cut energy tapping because I don't want to lose my last energy. And then I think I take all 3 of them. It's a little greedy to go with the Martian survey, but I think being Vitor and getting the 3 mega credits back, along with the science tag from Mars University, makes it a good play here. So I play Mars University. I don't use steel because I want to save the steel for the advanced alloys value. It's slightly risky because I don't have another building tag in hand, but I mean, I'm drawing so many cards. You gotta trust I'll find something. And I find Mining Expedition from the cycle, not the card I'm looking for. Play Advanced Alloys. Goodbye. Mining Expedition. Hello, Underground Debts? Okay. And yeah, there's the imported hydrogen into the conversion. I couldn't play Comet in time because I wanted to get the Mars U and Advanced Alloys value. You could argue maybe that's a little too greedy. I think it makes sense though. I just raise heat, just get a little bit of TR, but I have nothing else. Oh, that's right. So I raise heat, planning on just passing if nothing occurs here. But he goes ahead and plays Comet, Convoy from Europa, and gets up to those 3 plants, and I go, okay, well, if that's what you're going to do, then I'm going to go ahead and Comet you and kill those plants. I go ahead and put it down there for 2 titanium because I have a lot of titanium goals here, and the benefit of blowing up his plants like that is it means he can't play Nitro Moss. Then I said, well, alright, I might as well, now that I have exact cash, I'll go ahead and play Business Network and draw a card. It's Ore Processor, not interested. I'm done. He sells, and then plays Steelworks. Okay, so he's planning on using that oxygen bumper we passed. He did get to the 4 power from the solar power and the power supply consortium. But I'm not so upset about that, because my methane from Titan now looking a lot more playable. And this is an interesting draft. So, Protected Habitats is a little sad because I do want to hit him with this virus. But I mean, Insects is one of those cards that you pass and you regret it very much. So I think you take the Insects and just accept he has the Habs. And then, Noctis Farming combos very well with Insects, but that's a Med Lab to give me more MC prod. Give me a cycle with the science tag. I think you gotta take the Med Lab. Windmills is playable. Archie is not. And as much as I like the mean Martian rails, I don't think cities are coming down, so I think you just take 3 cards here. And yeah, he does Steelworks and just skips, so I guess he has something special he wants to do with that. I get Cartel. Yeah, I'll play a Cartel for 4 mega credit production. 5 after research coordination. I go ahead and play the research coordination because I guess I'm playing it. He does Noctis Farming into Nitro Moss, so making sure he gets his plant prod up to 3. I go ahead and tech demo, see if I find like Earth Office or something to make Cartel better. I don't. I find Toll Station and Flooding, so pretty easy cycles of Underground Dads and Toll Station here. You could argue Toll Station can be played for 2 prod, but you'd be wrong. Rad Suits is actually possibly playable as Vitor because the 3 mega credit rebate, getting it for free here means, 1 victory point for 3 plus mega credit production. Yeah, I can't be too upset with that. Just Med Lab and get rid of that yucky Underground Debts. Space Mirrors. Alright, better but not by much. I am drawing all the bad cards for my opponent. So the Protected Habs comes down, the Heat goes up. I'm just going to go and play Cartel for 5 prod. Can't be too upset with that. And he raises Heat and Funds, Thermalist for 14. So it makes sense. He is out of money now, though. So I pass. I will go ahead and say I'm not sure if that was correct of me, because the alternative to playing the Cartel was to play the Bushes and wait on that. Alternatively, maybe I could have just sold 3 cards of Toll Station, Space Mirrors, and Virus and afforded Bushes then. But that's 3 cycles from RSU. I don't want to buy more cycles if I don't have to. And so I think it's reasonable to wait on Bushes, but it's also possible it's a mistake. Could have been I should have just skipped buying a card. Maybe this Martian Survey is costing me 2 plants means it's not worth it. Anyway, could be right, could be wrong. I can't make a clear call. Just something to think about. Anyway, of these 4 cards, he has 2 plant tags. I just have 1, so it's a clear nitrogen-rich asteroid to deny it from him. He has just 5 cards left in hand, so it's a little sad passing him card draw. So I want steel targets. Natural Preserve is a great steel target. I'm a little sad passing Lagrange, but I get Search for Life back. All of these have a victory point on it. All of these cycle with Mars U. All of these make me very happy. But Natural Preserve for me helps make progress towards Builder and get the building done. Shuttles versus GHG. Yeah, you could argue I could take GHG and try and fight on Thermalist to make it annoying for him, but I don't think that's really a thing. I think Shuttles has nice combo potential with the space cards I've got in my hand. And Search for Life. So you could definitely buy all 4 here. I don't remember if I buy all 4 or if I skip on Shuttles thinking I might want power for something else. I buy all 4. Yeah, that's what I think I would do as well now. Alright, so does he have Strip Mine to make my Martian Survey not playable? Probably not. So I'm just going to be greedy, draw a card. Alright, optimal, sure. I'll take optimal arrow breaking. And I can claim planner now because that was my 16th card. That was also the reason to buy all 4. I forgot about that slightly. But yeah, so I got planner. He's basically got terraformer, and so it's a fight now for the others, and only being 1 building tag away, it's a pretty easy builder claim for me. So I'm winning on the milestones there. Alright, he drops the Cupola City. He is pressuring builder a little bit. Somewhat threatening Martian survey, but not super much. And my preserve too. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop the preserve. I do it down here on a card saying I want more cards. I get space hotels. Can't be upset about that. Goodbye, Virus. Hello, Dust Seals. And while Dust Seals is a great Vitor card, there are 4 oceans, not 3. Therefore, it is cycle time. I go ahead and claim the milestone for Builder. I could have waited, perhaps, but I'd just rather get it out of the way, personally. Search for Life is free. Nice thing, because it does show a victory point, even though if it doesn't necessarily come with victory points. It has the icon, therefore I get the cash back. I cycled Space Mirrors. I probably should have cycled Dust Seals, but oh well. Eos, that's okay. It's a steel dump. It combos with insects, NRA potential, so it does something. And I play the Martian Survey. I don't want to lose it next gen, so let's just go ahead and get the cards and get the cycles. I get farming, so can't be upset about that. And then research, also can't be upset about that. Industrial microbes, not really doing a whole lot. Research helps make scientist fund very safe if I want to go for that. He raises heat and then does a SP asteroid. He just wants to get the ocean down for his algae, I imagine. And it gets him a conversion, which is nice. Well, since he did that, I'm going to go ahead and raise my heat. I'm not vulnerable to fish right now, so I'm not worried about that. I could be later on, but for now I think it just makes sense to raise heat. And I'll just play the methane from Titan with all titanium. Now I am vulnerable to fish, so it's kind of stupid to have raised the heat, in my opinion. I'm going to chalk that up as a mistake in my book. Also, I did it before playing the shuttles, because we're not at 5% oxygen, so, also kind of stupid. Maybe I could have tried to wait and wait for him to convert and then play shuttles and then play the methane. I think that was a little sloppy. I think if I were to go back, I would probably sell Toll Station or Industrial Microbes and try and stall him out a little bit. And he drops it into Lake Marineris, so, that's pretty good. Now I just play the bushes and I pass. The good news is that with the bushes being played, I've now made things a little awkward for him, unless he has Deimos or GIA, because he wants to get the conversion, but it's 3 away, meaning that if he were to raise oxygen, he could not get it easily. Also, he turned off his own oxygen bumper, so he doesn't have that steelworks anymore with that Cupola City. So I'm not sure if the Cupola was the best idea or not. Anyway, Subrez is the only card to me that makes sense here. Tardes is kind of free, but whatever. It's too late in the game to really be worth the point. Commercial SF Memorial. Both steel dumps, artificial photosynthesis could be a science payoff, but it's so late in the game, I'm not really that scared of AI Central. So I just take the steel dump because he has steel. Alright, Tardes came back, but again, I'm not going to bother with it. I'm not going to get a point from it. None of these cards really make sense. I'm relatively poor. I need to play these big, expensive cards in my hand. I'm skipping all of it. Mining rights, so he's looking to pressure my steel even further. And he plays the photosynthesis to turn back on the steelworks, I guess. I could have thought about that in the game, about passing that being a little dangerous, but I don't know, 15 to get the power for the steelworks. I'm not convinced it's that good. Noctis City, now that's a steel dump. Yeah, I'll take that one. Doesn't know it exists, so he can maybe just walk right around it and give me some nice points. I'm just selling a card. I want to stall him out. I want him to take his heat or put down the O2. That way, I can either SP convert to get the bonus, or I could play farming and be in good position to get the bonus. With 14 cards, I can easily stall him out. Yeah, he claims Terraformer, plays the fish, so that's a little annoying. Reason not to have used my heat last round, I suppose. But I just continue to sell and stall. I've got enough cards in hand that I don't need to worry about it. And he raises heat, so now I can play the farming. And with that, that is 3 tags. So now I can play NRA. And then with the 9, Plant Prod, looking good. He plays Algae, which is nice, but no big deal. So here's where knowing the deck kind of helps you out. I know he doesn't have Steelworks. I know Mining Expedition has been seen. Therefore, I know that there is no way he can get the plants that he needs in order to take 2 oxygen bumps here. So I can just go ahead and convert once. I convert down there on steel. So I can now play Eos. And so he just passes, and I say, alright. So now I'm going to sell a card. I sell the optimal arrow breaking. It turned out that money-wise, it just didn't work out. Also kind of makes the shuttles not so good as well. But now I can play the insects and be pretty happy with that. For Plant Prod, I think it's better than the optimal arrow breaking value. So Mangrove is kind of a nuts card here. I can just play that to easily get a bunch of O2 very nicely. I do need to be a little worried about this strip mine though. Miner is funded, but you know, it's not the best strip mine ever. I'm taking the oxygen bonus already. So he could use it, but it's not going to pay off in production. It really would be about winning miner. And if he does win miner, that is a 10-point flip, so it is something to be cognizant of. But I take Mangrove. I think it's too good. Predators, I'm just going to cut. Remember, he has protected habs, so I can't use it to eat the fish. I'm not planning on getting any animals, but why? Give him another 1-point animal. Big asteroid, though I'm not playing it because he's getting maxed here. And I just really want Mangrove, that's all. So I just go ahead and do my 2 conversions. And so right now it is 65 to 60. So I'm up by 5 points. I got a lot of production of greeneries. I got Noctis and I have Jove Molts in hand. So I'm feeling pretty good about how the game is right now. He does his conversion and plays Plantation. So we're up to 10%. So now I need to be a little careful about what we do with the rest of this game. So whether my opponent has strip mine or not is kind of irrelevant, because both ways he can basically, for like 19 mega credits, get 2 oxygen bonuses here. So he can SP greenery, convert, and then that gets basically 2 oxygen bonuses for 19. And if he has strip mine again, that's another 19. So oxygen's done at that point. So it's 840. So now he's at like 26. And so I do need to be careful here, because I took those 2 oxygen and I passed the strip mine. If he has a card like Ice Asteroid, he can just end here. And if he ends here, do I win? I'm not sure is the honest answer to that. It's close. So I'm a little nervous about that possibility. I go ahead and draw a card, and okay, TG. Alright, if I can go to Gen 10, I've basically won now with TG. So I'm definitely buying that. And I'm going to fund Scientist. I think it's the best points I can score for the mega credits. He uses Steelworks, okay. It does use the fish. So, like I said, I'm a little worried about game ending here. I think that shuttles could be just too expensive here, which is probably wrong. I think I probably should have just played shuttles. But I'm also thinking about making sure I have energy for Noctis. I know I have the windmills, but like I said, scary. So I'm going to go ahead and play Ganymede Colony. Just kind of posturing. Yes, Miner is currently flipped, but I'm going to be at 7, he'll be at 9, but then I'll pick up 2 from the board here, so it'll reflip. So I'm really up by, more points than I show right now. Go ahead and play the Rad Suits, get the cash back. He does play the Strip Mine, so we're close, but then he plays Phobos Space Haven. Okay, so he didn't have the Ice Asteroid, he couldn't end, so that means I am safe. I sell the shuttles because I'm too embarrassed to play it now. Also because I want to play Mangrove if he's passing. He is passing, so I play the Mangrove. Take the Oxygen while I can so he doesn't get it. Physics Complex is junk. I'm not interested. Alright, so last gen. So I have 3 things I need to play here, which is Wife, Terraforming Ganymede, and Noctis City. I have the steel and titanium to accomplish those. However, that strip mine does make Miner a lot more scary. I am no longer sure I am winning Miner. But I'm still... I think with the Jove Malts, I'm still fine. Mass Converter is points for me, is a science tag for me. I did Fun Scientist, but I'm like, honestly, 2 cards in hand. I don't think there's any way that he plays it after a brief thought, so I just get rid of the Ecozone. Immigration Shuttle's the only card that matters. Yeah, Mass comes back, but I don't care. It doesn't pay off. None of these cards really pay off, so we're just going to get rid of all 4 of them. Ecozone is at best 9 for a point, and that's just not worth it when I got these other higher value plays in hand. So I skip all. He buys 2, so he's got 4 cards in hand. He plays that Lagrange from so long ago, trying to pressure Scientist a little bit. And then plays the Giant Ice Asteroid. I don't know if he found that from Lagrange. If so, it's pretty lucky. So Oceans are done. Blows up 6 of my plants. Kind of rude. I go ahead and draw. Decomposer's mocking me after the Ecozone discard, but it's not any good. I'm just going to go ahead and convert next to Noctis City for 2 cash back. He converts around his city and uses his fish. So I'm losing by 7 points, but Wife gives me 7 points, coincidentally. And I can also just throw down the TG, and boom. I shoot up to plus 12 points on him, even with Miner flipped. He plays Grass, which is going to be worth a point. So that's fine, but it's nowhere near enough to overcome it. I already see that Miner is lost. There's no way I can flip it. He's got 0 cards in hand and 11 steel, so I'm going to just play the Noctis City with all my steel. And then I can play Research, draw 2 cards. Miranda Resort would be cute if I had the money, but I don't. So I'm just going to cycle. None of those matter. Now I have 3 cash left. I can sell 3 cards and play the Windmills, because Vitor lets you do these things. And with the 3 cash left, I can search for life, and it's a land claim. So, no good there. But with that, he gets his conversions. 3 points total. I get my 2 to get an extra 4 points there. And so with that, the game is over. And with all 4 Jove Molts combined, Vitor does win. So that's a Vitor game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I think I got to show a little bit of how the victory point rebate being a little busted works. Again, I think Polar Industries ended up being a bit of a bait. It did help me with getting some TR and getting some of my cards on a little sooner. It also helped pressure Helion a little bit. Having 20 to his 34 meant, he couldn't spend all of his heat, but he got enough back. But again, Miner very correlated with losing, and so Levi won Miner, but at what cost? It came at the cost of 22 mega credits of unspent resources, which is quite significant. Is it better than 10 points? No, not necessarily, but just when you try and win Miner, you lose a lot of points from just not being able to spin your minerals, which is why it's so risky to fund. Also, why if I wanted to fund it, I probably still should have taken Metals Company over the Polar Industries. It worked out, but I think that was a mistake in retrospect. But that's the Vitor game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next week for another replay of a 2-player game, because as I said, I am not going near Arena 3-player game. Maybe next season it'll be 2-player, and I can grind up the Arena and share some Arena games with you guys. Anyway, see you next time.